Giant Apple at the end of the stream today. So anyway, we've got ourselves a 1v1 live match between Jordan23 and TaToH now. Jordan here is going to be playing in the red as the Incas, and in the blue... sorry, no, TaToH is the Incas, my bad, in the red to the east, and to the northwest in the blue, we have Jordan23 playing as the Slavs. Slavs versus Incas, two of the Forgotten Empires civs, so the oldest of the new civs, the oldest of the new. Going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I feel like the Slavs will probably have the edge, but as I said before, TaToH is much more experienced with these expansions. He does have a few more tricks up his sleeve, perhaps. Thank you very much, Nevo99, for the resub as well. 3 months of togetherness. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that very much. But yeah, as I said, I used to work in a subway when I was at school. And ever since I worked in a subway, I think I was about 14 or 15. I've never had a subway since because it kind of put me off. It's like, I imagine if you worked in McDonald's or KFC or Burger King and you worked in that environment for, let's say, a year or 2 years, you'd probably never eat that food again because you know what goes on behind the scenes. You know what it's really like. You know what goes into the food. So, I don't know. For me personally, never touched Subway since I was about 15 years old, which is, Jesus, 9 years ago now. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Where has the time gone? I suddenly feel old. And I'm not old. Like, I'm not old, but that just makes me feel old. Because it feels like yesterday that I was serving footlongs. Just chucking them out left, right, and center. You get a footlong. You get a footlong. Everybody gets a footlong. But man, that's depressing. I don't want to talk about that. Anyway, let's see how this goes. We'll talk about the map. The map, it's actually... what map is Cenotes? It's kind of like... I don't like this map, to be honest. It's a very, very awkward map. It's almost like Salt Marsh. It's not very reliable. But Jordan's going to take a villager here and dock this little lake. There's no big fish in these lakes. Just 3 little tiddlers. 3 6-inches over here. But Jordan's going to dock it anyway. And, oh god, no. Docking with his tiddlers. That's not good, is it? Let's quickly change tact away from that. But he will fish here with a couple of fishing ships. And you might wonder, okay, well, is it worth it? Obviously, for long-term fishing, he's going to have to build some fish traps. But the return on investment on fish traps is very good if you can keep them alive. It's just a question of keeping them alive or not. And we'll see if he's able to do that. It's kind of hard to protect these lakes. And these lakes do make it a little awkward to wall as well because they are sort of covered in shallows too, which gives your opponent ways through. It's a kind of awkward map to play. We'll take a look at TaToH's side first, really, though. He's got a safe-ish back gold. He should be able to keep that reasonably well protected, since it is far away from Jordan. All of his stones on the front, though. If Jordan was to come forward and do some kind of trush action, then that could be a problem for TaToH. But trushing is probably out of the question here for the time being. But would you look at that? Jordan, I mean... I hate having to switch into his point of view, but I want to check his resources. Jordan here, a little bit slower to go up to the feudal age, just clicking up right now. But obviously he has got 3 fish as well, which is going to be really boosting his food here. We'll probably expect to see Jordan going into scouts then, I imagine. Though at the moment, you know, he's not even built a mill at this stage. He's probably going to want to mill the berries and take the deer because the deer are super close by. At the moment, he's got more than enough wood to do that, but he's probably thinking, well, I also need to get a barracks and a stable, and wood situation might be a little tight. So this might end up being a little awkward for Jordan here. He will go for the mill, he will get the lumber camp, he will get a house, but he will not be able to afford a barracks for a little while. But I think he'll have more than enough wood eventually to get the barracks and stable up. But coming forward is TaToH with 5 villagers, couple of militia as well. He is going to mill the deer on the front, and he's going to start taking this stone. And the Incas, they get a lovely bonus, and that bonus is that their their stone buildings are 15% cheaper, if I'm not mistaken. It's 15%. So that means his towers, his castles, going to cost him less stone, which means trushing is a very viable option. And Jordan feels bad, man. Literally just built that lumber camp, and now he has to run away as these villagers are coming in. The militia are hot on their heels, and Jordan's trying to get that barracks up, but uh-oh, only 117 wood in the bank. Jordan is hurting right now. He can't afford a stable. He can't get wood. His eco is a mess. And this barracks is being torn down by some rather angry villagers from TaToH here. Jordan's going to put a mining camp up on the gold on the front. He's going to be found by TaToH's man-at-arms. And I feel like I've got a feeling this could be a very quick game at this rate. Jordan has to make militia here. He can't make any other military units right now. And maybe this commitment to making the fish is going to end up biting him in the butt. Because the lack of wood is a real problem for Jordan right now. Jordan can't afford to get a stable. He can't afford an archery range. And for the time being, he's just got to sit here, grab some gold, try and get some militia out as just some form of defense. And he still can't afford to build that stable. Obviously, the Slavs get better farmers. Their farmers are more effective, which means that scout rushing is a really nice option for them. But at the moment, it's never going to happen. This is just falling apart. This is a shambolic display at the moment for Jordan here. TaToH's going to put a tower on the wood line at the top. He's got men-at-arms in here. Jordan does not have men-at-arms done yet. And that means that he's bringing all of his villagers over to fight. And with the militia in here as well, it might still be enough to push TaToH away. TaToH's now going to scout the dock. And be like, that probably explains a lot. And TaToH will just... What a mess. What an absolute mess. This is brilliant. It's so chaotic. TaToH is running away with these units. A couple of villagers are quite low, actually. And I feel like maybe he could turn this. But he's probably going for the hill before he does. And Jordan obviously having a lot of idle time here as well. But Jordan is by no means out of it at this point. Obviously, it's been a little bit of a mess. Obviously, things aren't going too well as he gets housed right now. And he does the man-at-arms upgrade. Sorry about the UI bugging out, like I say. It's probably just a bug with WololoKingdoms. But look at that tower going up from TaToH. That's a beautiful tower. Why is that so nice? Well, it's just going to kill the fishing ships. Towers, attack bonus, of course, versus boats. And that means that these fish will eventually go down, denying any potential for long-term fishing on the water and reducing the value of Jordan's investment into these fish. But that's if, of course, the watchtower stays up, which at the moment doesn't look too likely, as TaToH just doesn't have enough units here to support the tower. There's a lot of villagers from Jordan just coming in to batter it down. TaToH's got one villager to repair it, trying to keep it alive as long as possible, trying to do as much chip damage as possible. Will kill one of the men-at-arms, might be able to kill a second immediately, taking that one down on the hill. And if the men-at-arms are out of the picture, then maybe TaToH will be able to clean this up. But I don't know, his own men-at-arms are all gone now as well, and for now, these villagers are just being held hostage in this tower, and maybe he's hoping, well, I might be able to kill the fish before it's too late. What a crazy, messy game so far. Jordan is now behind by one villager. He's going to pop out here with these two vills and try and do some damage to the remaining units under this tower. And obviously with the tower doing some additional damage, that's really going to help out the fighting capabilities of these vills. Hopping in as soon as the villagers get low, hopping out again, just trying to bait and debate these villagers all day long. Jordan's taking quite a lot of losses here. Obviously, if TaToH loses the tower, he will lose all three of his vills. But if he can kill a couple of vills in the process and keep Jordan idle, then TaToH is certainly winning. At the same time, in the middle of the map, Jordan didn't wall his own tower up. He's going to lose access to the gold here as the villagers rush it down. And yeah, I mean, these Incan villagers actually as well. Bear in mind, another bonus that they get is they do benefit from the defense upgrades and the blacksmith upgrades. So they do have +3 defense right now, which is certainly helping them out a little bit. There is no +1 attack, but they don't need it. They can still take down the tower from Jordan on the gold. And Jordan has no access to gold now because this gold is so far forward as well. So this is a really messy game. Jordan is going to try and deny this tower. Of course, in the expansions, men-at-arms do get a +2 attack bonus versus buildings. So that's going to help Jordan's situation a little bit. But without access to gold, how long can he keep making men-at-arms for? The answer is quite a while. He does have 160 gold in the bank still, so Jordan still can afford to make more and more men-at-arms. This tower's being rushed down. TaToH's bringing all the villagers over to try and fight this. He's done forging. So TaToH's villagers now have +1 attack, +1 defense. That makes them quite formidable against these men-at-arms even. 2 melee armor, meaning that the men-at-arm only does 4 damage. Well, the villagers do 4 damage as well. And that means that these villagers have basically been brought to arms as well here. This is going to be... this is such a messy game. I'm loving it so much, though. TaToH needs to hop this villager into the tower if he can, but the tower might be too low on health right now. I hear more villagers dying. That could be Jordan's villas going down to the tower. It could be TaToH's villagers going down to these men-at-arms. All these villagers are just fighting out here. TaToH, an even number of villagers compared to Jordan right now, but that won't stay that way as he's outnumbered out here. And even with those upgrades from the blacksmith, his villagers will be chased down and killed off. 2 more going down for TaToH there. 1 more villager will surely fall, and then this men-at-arms will die. 1 villager for TaToH eventually escaping, but what a messy game it has been so far. No player really getting a big advantage just yet. The scores are surprisingly even. And, yeah, TaToH's actually behind now by 5 vills, giving Jordan a way back into this game. And TaToH, no, what is he doing? Another, oh god, how many is that? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 villagers coming forward? TaToH is angry. His villagers want revenge for all their deaths up in the north, and he's so stubborn. He's building another watchtower on the dock as well. And bear in mind, all this time as well, Jordan's had these 3 fish working away. There is still a little bit of fish left in this pond. TaToH's now just going to try and brute force his way into Jordan's base, bringing those villagers into fight. And those upgrades are certainly helping. The men-at-arms are not doing anywhere near as much damage as you would like. Jordan bringing the villagers over as well. And we've just descended into a full-on villager war. Who is going to have the better micro? Well, that doesn't really matter so much. Who's going to have the better villagers? And surely the answer to that is going to be TaToH here. He wants revenge. He's going to get that tower up one way or another, and that tower is certainly going to help his case in the front here, as it will be doing additional damage all the while to Jordan's units. Oh my goodness, Jordan's going to put a galley out on the water and deny that tower from TaToH as well. Beautiful play by him. And TaToH's just trying to repair the tower here, garrisoning inside to do this extra damage where he can, using his villagers to fight where he can. And it's 28 vills to 29 now, so TaToH getting a good trade so far out of this aggression. And why not be so aggressive when your villagers are that much stronger thanks to the upgrades? 29 villagers for TaToH. He's just overtaken Jordan once again. And it's been surprisingly back and forth, considering how much villager fighting we've had. I can't believe how crazy this game has been so far. Can Jordan keep it together, though? That's the thing here. Can he keep it together? He's just overtaken TaToH in villagers once again, but he doesn't really have any access to gold. Of course, TaToH's going to keep building towers and keep denying those resources from Jordan here. And Jordan's resources not looking too healthy. He doesn't really have any gold in the bank. He's not going to get any gold for a while either. And TaToH seems to be intent on coming forward and dropping more and more towers on Jordan's face. He's going to lose his house here. That's going to leave a hole in his wall. And TaToH's going to try and get towers up around these farms. If he can tower the farms, that will actually be huge, denying a lot of extra food and a lot of resources from Jordan, forcing him to rebuild them somewhere else as well. And my goodness me, this is quite a showing from TaToH at the moment. He needs to get a tower up on this gold out here, though, and of course you can see why Jordan is walling this at the moment the way he is. He wants to force a choke point towards his TC to prevent TaToH coming around and towering up his gold. TaToH does see the gold there. He does know where it is, so this should be his next target, really. And TaToH at the moment is super good in this one for the time being. I think it's going to be very difficult for Jordan to keep this together. Look at how quickly that house is going down. So much for house walling. Bear in mind, in the expansions, houses have been nerfed. Their health is only at 750. And if I was Jordan right now, I would probably be calling GG, because I feel like, yeah, there it is. GG from Jordan in the chat. What a crazy, crazy game. So much happened there. I've got to give credit to Jordan for reacting well. He did go into the man-at-arms. It was the right choice. He did a lot of damage to TaToH's villagers. But ultimately, TaToH, using those towers to deny and restrict Jordan's movement on the map, using the blacksmith upgrades to buff his villagers, and honestly, TaToH deserved that win after the way he brazenly went forward with his villagers there, and the way he took the fight to Jordan with his villagers in hand. And he didn't really make that many military units at all. It was just villagers and towers, and that was enough to seal the deal. This is the kind of map that really favors the Incas. It's very open. You can really take advantage of that, but I can't help but feel that this would really have gone differently if Jordan didn't dock. Now, there's no denying that these fishing ships certainly helped Jordan's position. They obviously helped to supplement his food income a little bit. But it also cost him the wood that he needed to build a stable. It also cost him the wood he needed to build a archery range. And if he'd have been able to build that stable, build that archery range, which you can see he's making the archery range now at 26 minutes of game time, he might have been able to hold this off, because scouts and archers would have outperformed these villagers from TaToH, and they would have had many more opportunities to strike back as well with a counterattack. But since he was forced to just make man-at-arms and defend, and since his feudal age transition ended up being a very, very rocky road, Jordan wasn't able to really get a foothold in that game, and TaToH was able to punish that with those upgraded villagers. Very nice game from these guys. That one deserves to go on YouTube, I think. And we're now going to come back out of here and see if these guys are going to play another one. It doesn't look like they will, as far as I can tell, TaToH has left the lobby.